Hi everyone. Today we have a new tutorial to get started with Django framework in Python. Django is powerful Python web framework for creating complex applications. It follows the model view template architecture and includes built-in feature like authentication, admin interface, database connection, and CRUD operations. It is free and open source. Django's primary goal is to ease the creation of complex data-driven websites. Some well-known sites that use Django includes Instagram, Bitbucket, and Mozilla. There are endless web development frameworks out there, so why should we learn Django over any of others? First of all, it is written in Python, one of the most readable and beginner-friendly programming language out there. If you choose Django and build a website, you don't need to rely on any external libraries or packages. This means that you don't need to learn how to use anything else. And the syntax is seamless because you are using only one framework. Okay, before you get started with any web development project, it is a good idea to come up with a plan of what you are going to build. I have VSCode instanced open on my machine and there is a new Django demo folder already created. Whenever you are starting in a web application project, it is good idea to first set up your development environment. I'm just going to open a new terminal for this project. So we have to install the virtual environment to manage dependencies, right? Just type the command python -m venv. So it will create a venv folder into your project folder. Inside this directory, you will get several files, including a copy of Python standard libraries. So when you install new dependency, they will also live in this directory. I have one command handy just to activate this virtual environment. Now that you have created and activated a virtual environment, it is time to install Django framework. So first, let's see how many packages are installed by default in this virtual environment. We have just one package installed, that is pip, right? So to install Django framework, either you type this complete command python m pip install Django, or you can just type in pip install Django. Once you have set up the virtual environment and installed Django, you can now dive into creating the application. You have to just type the command Django admin start project shopping cart. Don't forget to add the dot at the end. This dot prevents Django from creating a nested project directory for your shopping cart application. Okay, this is the application name that we have taken for our demo. You can take any name what you want. So after executing this command, you will be able to see this shopping cart directory into your project folder. Once your file structure is set up, you can now start the Django development server and check that your setup was successful. Just type this command to run your server python manage.py run server. As soon as you run this command, your localhost server is ready to test your application code, right? This is the development server on which we are going to check our application, right? This is a localhost URL and this is the port where we are running this application. I have just copied the URL and just type at my browser. You see that it is a very nice page from Django framework. You can also use localhost here. So congratulations, you have created a Django site. To stop the application, you have to just type Control plus C. Your development server will be stopped. Now what we are going to do, we are going to create an app name which calls pages. Anything you can take here. I'm gonna create a new directory, pages. We have to run the command. Okay, that is conflicting. Let me remove this directory first. Okay, you can take any name, whatever you want, right? I have taken pages, any.py that tells Python to treat the directory as a Python package. Okay, here we have nothing, but it has lots of configuration. Admin.py, it tells it contains setting for Django admin pages. Okay, app.py contains setting for application configuration. Model.py contains a series of classes that Django's ORM converts to database table. Okay, test.py, it contains test classes. Okay, whatever test cases you want to develop for your application, you can create a number of test cases. Okay, view.py contains functions and classes that handle what data is displayed in the HTML template. So once you have created the app, you will need to install it in your project in Django demo shopping cart setting.py file. You are seeing this, the list of information. You have to just add a one more item here like this pages.apps.pages.config. When you add these settings, so you let Django know that a pages app that you just created exists. So the next step is to create a view so that you can display something to the user. A view in Django is a collection of functions or classes inside the view.py file in app directory. So we are going to put some code that will actually serve our pages slash home.html. Okay, so in this piece of code, you define a view function named home. Okay, when you call this function, it will render an HTML file named home.html. This file it will render, and that file does not exist yet, but you will create it now. So I'm gonna create a folder inside the pages that is templates, and inside templates I'm gonna create another folder with my app name like pages. I'm also going to create a file that is home.html. I also put some code hello Django. This is my HTML code that will be rendered on my first view. I've saved all three files now. So you need to tell now Django when to serve the view. Now you need to hook up a URL so that you can visit the page that you have just created, this page. My shopping cart, this folder contains a file that is url.py. I'm gonna configure my pages app. So let me import include class as well, and then I'm gonna add one URL pattern. Okay, that is my pages.urls. I've just saved the file. Whenever you visit the root path of your project, the routes of the pages application will load. Okay, so if your Django development server is not yet running, just type the command again. I have saved everything. I'll execute this command. It is said that pages.app is not a package. So under our pages folder, we have to create a route. Okay, I'm gonna create another Python file that is urls.py, right? And in this file, I'm going to put some code, right? That calls the path, django.urls, and in my pages views, I'm gonna pass on views.home. This view that we have just created. Let me close the file. So we have got the issues that was here. So we were using double quotes with our app that we had created. So as soon as I remove the double quotes and put a comma and save the file, then my server gets started. You can now run the application from your localhost. You see that we have hello Django message. This is my home page, and on my home page I had just put this message. Okay, this is the bug. We'll change the message, refresh it again. You will get that hello Django, welcome to the course. So congratulations, you have created your first Django app and hooked it up to your project, this shopping cart. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned how to set up a Django app with Python in local environment. However, we have just got started with this framework, but we will surely cover all topics and concepts from Django framework in our upcoming tutorials. So hit a like button and give me the comment down below of this video. Don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video.